Hello groupies, welcome back to Form Therapy. I am the video channel producer. You can call me PD, and today we are doing a reaction for Dreamcatcher's latest comeback music video called PIRI. That's P-I-R-I. I have no idea what the context for the title is. Not sure if it's supposed to be a sound, or if it's an onomatopoeia, or if it's just a made-up word. We'll find out. This comeback is very soon off the heels of what? I think that's a pretty good break time in between, because we actually went quite a while without a Dreamcatcher full-fledged comeback. Previously, I think before whatever the one it was before what. But either way, let's get into it. This is your Form of Therapy. Okay, visually it may be very different from what we've seen from them before, but sounds very ominous. Oh my god, holy shit. That sounded like devil worshipping music in the beginning. Wow, this is probably the hardest guitar sound they've done yet. Ooh. This is a very minimalistic music video, especially for Dreamcatcher. Oh, okay, PIRI as in whistle. Oh, those drums! Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta talk about that later. And then they incorporate a whistling tune into the melody. Nice. There's another rapper besides Tommy? I didn't know that. Also, she cut her hair even more. Oh, 0 out of 10 for this music video all of a sudden. Dolls. I don't fuck with dolls. Alright, but the song is good enough that I can forgive the dolls. I mean, the song is so unapologetically very much Dreamcatcher style, but it's very different. So, first things first, PIRI in this case, I forgot. PIRI is a whistle. Not a whistle! I meant a flute. And a flute makes a whistling sound. I'm stupid. Right. Okay, In this instance, PIRI is a flute, and a flute makes that whistling sound. I like how they incorporate it both into the title and the lyrics and the actual melody. You have the whistling melody where it goes do-do-do-do-do-do, and then the lyrics of the chorus, they actually say PIRI를 불러라, you know, blow that whistle, play the whistle. I mean, the sound is very much Dreamcatcher's sound, but the music video itself and the song itself feels like a different shift for Dreamcatcher. I had some people suspecting that After What, or the music video before that, Dreamcatcher was going to change concepts and they're not going to do like the rock concept anymore, but it was actually more the end of like that storyline and they were just starting something new. They've still consistently kept up with the rock image, and they are still somehow innovating themselves constantly. In fact, I would say Dreamcatcher, man, they debuted what? 2 years ago? Dreamcatcher, in the 2 years since their debut, has somehow stuck with the same exact concept, and yet they don't feel old, tired, and every time, especially now, they feel more fresh than ever. You know, the first three comebacks, I would say Chase Me, Fly High, there was another one in there, I'm forgetting, but those definitely all sounded within the same realm. They all sounded like sort of mixed with like J-rock, horror themed, that kind of like gothic concept, you know? And it's because all of those storylines were related and they sounded similar in that way. Even Goodnight was along those lines. You and I would say, was even along those lines. They kept a consistent sound, and that's a good idea when you're first starting out as a group, you know? It's to build and establish a sound so you can build a fan base. And I would say Dreamcatcher, I would say they're fairly popular. I think they do fairly well. You know, they may not yet be like EBS status, but I think for a rookie group, they are very popular. Right now is the perfect time for this. I think if they had introduced this early on, maybe it would not be as well received. I think PIRI is a lot more lighthearted than their previous ones. It's somehow both lighthearted and perhaps it's one of their strongest title tracks, like hardest title tracks to date. You know, comparatively to What, What is really hard. And that's the thing. I feel like there's been a huge jump since You and I to What. Their instrumentals have gotten crazier. The commitment to rock and that sort of metal sound has gotten even more intense. I don't know what changed. Maybe they changed production teams. Maybe they changed who was actually recording the instrumentals and guitar sounds for them. I felt like their beginning stuff, I love it. I still love it, don't get me wrong, but I felt like, okay, this is just like J-rock rock. Dreamcatcher's What is like mind-bendingly so violent and so unlike anything I've ever heard, and this is very much like that, but I would say this leans heavily more into rock. But I think more than any other Dreamcatcher title track, I think the guitars and especially the drumming here is more prominent. In K-pop, whether it's band music or idol group music, I feel like insane drumming is not something we get a lot. Insane drumming it's heavily a J-rock thing. Not an all J-rock, but you know, I feel like Alexandros, Baby Metal, 1OK Rock, they have some insane drummers. If you, let's take a look at another band like Day 6. They're not a rock group, but when they do hard rock songs, let's say if it's a title track like I Wait, it's not as intense. But then you've got things like Warning, where it's a B-side, then they go a little bit more off. I feel like when it comes to marketing, insane drumming, you know, really fast tempo like that, Koreans aren't really into that style. Like I said, there's a cultural difference between Japan and Korea. So I actually really appreciate the risk that Dreamcatcher's label took by actually going with a really hard, fast tempo and really letting the drummer just kind of rip this song apart. I think his drummer really stood out. I will say, probably, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't think this is their best music video. I think some of Dreamcatcher's best music videos, You and I is really hard to beat. That's a very beautiful, very high quality music video. This one felt very bare, minimalistic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I felt like some scenes fit this music video and some scenes didn't, especially the scenes where it's white. I kind of understand what they were going for. The white concept makes it a little bit more eerie and a little bit more haunting. I feel like you immediately associate that kind of design aesthetic with like limbo or asylums. It has a very creepy, lost feeling to it. You know, the members are walking around, they don't know where they're going. I do feel like they could have played with the lighting a little. I felt like the lighting was a little bit safe, especially to have like such blank white sets with like only a couple few windows. Maybe it's white in the verse, but in the chorus, if they had kind of changed it up, maybe brought in like more dramatic lighting, if they had brought in like I feel like red or magenta hues would have been actually much more intense for this music video. But regardless, it's still a good music video. It's finely produced, it's expensive, it's good direction, good camera work. I just feel like it's not their best. I would say You and I is probably my favorite, and then the What music video is probably my second favorite. This one, it just kind of falls behind those. But for the song, I feel like song-wise, title track-wise, you know, Fly High used to be my favorite until What. I mean, What immediately triumphed Fly High. PD, I don't know if I like PD more than What, because I do like PD a lot. So PD is either second and What is first, or PD is first and What is second. They're two very vastly different songs, I feel like. What is very, very high concept, and the instrumental is more focused on having a very unique sound to it. And I feel like PD is maybe a little bit more traditional in the songwriting. I felt like the singing, and I felt like, because they're not like screaming in this one like they are in What, I felt like the singing and the earnesty of their singing, but also the genuine like raw sounds of the instruments kind of makes this better than What in that regard. So it's kind of weird. It's like they're both tied. They're both number one in their respective categories, but they're just different categories. But I do think PD by Dreamcatcher is awesome. I don't know if Dreamcatcher has actually won any awards, but if there was ever a song to do it, this could possibly be it. I'm actually curious as to how this would translate live, because like I said, those instrumentals are actually really strong, really powerful. It has a very live band rock concert sort of element to it, so obviously they can't fit that on stage, especially with all the dancers. So I'm actually curious as to how that's gonna sound live. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. What do you think of Dreamcatcher's PD? Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Also, thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you would like to support me and my newfound team, go on to patreon.com/formatherapy. For as little as $2 a month, you get early access to reaction videos, and we have more coming soon. But if you can't support us monetarily, that's completely fine. Go ahead and just click like down below right there. Helps us out a lot with the YouTube search algorithm. Or go ahead and click subscribe over here if you're new. Go ahead and click the notification button. You know, turn on notifications and be alerted when we upload a new video. And yeah, go ahead and check out all my other videos over here.